Her title.
We are on air. Eloy, am I live on Facebook or on YouTube?
No.
Are you getting a notification? I think I got it unlisted this time.
Yeah.
We've been having issues. Yeah.
Been live streaming, huh?
Yep, a little bit. I left the last one up.
So what was her title in the movie in Ghostbusters?
Who's this?
He was the key master.
Oh, she was the gatekeeper.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We got a lot of gatekeepers on social media nowadays now, don't we?
Hey now. Yeah, Sigourney Weaver.
So, Ryan.
I am Vince Clortho, Keymaster Composer.
Ryan H. Bitters.
I'm Bryan Bales this week.
All right.
Dude, we've missed you. I'm not going to speak for the other guys because that would be presumptuous of me, but I'm going to say I have missed you profoundly. And
I felt it.
Have you felt it from far away?
I felt it. Yep.
Yeah. Have you guys go to bed at night and tucked in, and you feel a tremble around the house, the outdoors, the vibrations of the vibrations of my soul crying out?
Yes. I thought that's what it was.
Dude. I'm just like shocked that you're here and in black and white.
You shouldn't be too shocked. I mean, we've known about this for a couple months.
Yeah, it's like watching Clerks, by the way.
You guys
They're
don't
in
make
black and white.
You guys don't make good actors.
Who doesn't?
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
Also, I mean, well, you got to have a little, performance in the thing.
Sorry.
Yeah. Look, you left. Rory came in. Bales starts acting up, and Rory doesn't want to control Bales. Doc, I don't know what's happened. I'm sitting here watching this whole thing.
I would like to interject something then when you're done, though. I had a thought about this, but please continue your thought.
Doc, I don't know what to think. These guys are out of control, Ryan. There's no stability. Now, here's the thing. We thought that the problem was us, but the truth is the problem was you, because we have since then, and I didn't want to say this, the problem since then is that we refer to certain key things from the past. I'm not gonna mention the word because I don't want to give it life.
I'm not gonna say a word.
Okay, so I bought milk from the store today. Okay,
I will bleep it. It will be bleeped. I just stricken it from the record.
Why do they keep bleeping all these words while they're talking about dairy?
What if I say it in Latin?
Do it.
I'm lactose intolerant, sir.
Damn
it. So, our group, Scratched and Friends, over there on Facebook?
I've heard of it.
What the hell has been going on there, dude? It's become debauchery.
It's like Fight Club.
It's screwed up, dude. It's evil, Rory.
But everybody likes it.
No, but there's evil going on in there, dude. There's some posts of like, I don't want to say it, but like,
that's some people like that kind of humor.
Yeah, but that's screwed up, dude.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying some people like that.
Did you see the one that there's like a pool and there's fish and there's shark, and then they said, what do you call a bunch of fish together? And it's remember that one or something like that?
Yeah. That
crossed the line, in my opinion, dude.
I agree.
And that's not the only one, but here's the kicker that I wanted to tell you guys. JP has been banned from Facebook.
What?
Yeah, he's in the Facebook jail.
From the big FB?
Yeah.
So what's the reason?
Ooh. I asked him if I could talk about it because I don't want to step on any shoes, and he said, yes, you can say anything you like. Do you really want to know the answer to what he did?
Yeah.
Well, for maybe some of us, who is or was JP Morgan?
JP Morgan is a British guy.
He was American.
What do you mean?
JP Morgan was American. Dad.
Oh, well, that one, but I'm talking about our JP.
Okay. I'm sorry, I got caught up in it. Go ahead.
RJP is from England. He lives out there in that part of the world across the pond, and he's a woodworker, and so on and so forth. And he's jokey. He likes to joke around and fart around, and it's all fun and games.
I believe the word is cheeky.
He's cheeky.
Cheeky monkey.
Well, he got busted and thrown in Facebook jail. And the reason I brought up that the Scratching Friends and the debauchery that goes on there, which I don't condone, honestly, even though we have fun here. Certain memes like that, dude, they're talking about, like, I don't know, man, like the destruction of, I can't. So JP goes and gets busted for posting a GIF of a guy winking and biting his lip.
I believe the term is GIF.
You can say GIF or
Can
GIF.
you?
Yeah, GIF is a peanut butter.
So he posted in response to that bad meme. His response was a GIF of a guy biting his lip and winking.
Yeah, he did that to somebody. I think it was Tony Rouleau or something, like a regular thing. And then he goes and gets banned. Somebody had it out for him, and they just went and used the power of Facebook to have him banned.
So did he get banned like via the group or from his own personal, like on his own page?
I took it upon myself as one of the admins, which I think you granted me back in the day, and I did research of all us admins to make sure that it wasn't one of us admins. I saw a few flagrant admin abuses from Rory May.
Flagrant.
What? Is that even a word?
Yes, flagrant.
Flagrant's it's a good word. Good word.
Yeah. I saw a few suspect sort of interactions via Doc Holliday.
0.
Bryan Bales.
About time. I've been watching Doc, and I've been trying to cover his tracks, but it's about time he got called out.
Yeah.
No, so I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything from but the JP did say that he posted the same lip biting and winking hairy guy on another group. I think it was the We Like to Make Stuff group. And I think it came from that group, but I can't say for sure. So
it would make sense.
What?
Oh yeah. Well,
I don't understand. Is it that he posted the GIF? That's the issue?
Facebook called it of a sexual nature.
Then
why did they not see what goes on in Scratched and Friends?
I know, but somebody had it out for JP, and so that's what happened. They had it out for him. Because JP's also an admin in that group, and he did remove the said School of Fish post, which I thought was screwed up, man. I'm sorry. That's not even, come on.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the only one. You know.
I'd like to weigh in.
Okay.
I don't give a at all, even a little bit. Like, adults be adults. Come on now. Do I think some of it is crossed the line? Yes. Can I keep scrolling? Also, yes. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to call you out.
But it does.
I'm sorry. I'm going to call you out right now because you're saying this.
Yeah, but I'm saying I want nothing to do with it, is what I'm saying.
You can't.
I'm with Doc.
Like, as far as the Facebook group goes, and me being a member of it, that's how I feel.
Okay.
Being that I'm some sort of admin of the group, I would never delete a post.
Oh no! What you thinking that I'm saying?
No, I'm saying or edit. Like, to me, like, I heard a guy talking about it recently on a podcast, and he's like, you should be like the phone company because you can say mean, evil shit over the phone, and it's never the phone company's fault. So
right.
You know, why should you worry about it? You're just you're just a conduit.
Okay, that's great. That's wonderful. Now I'm going to call your ass out.
Let's hear it, kid.
Okay, because notice Rory is quite, not saying, what you're saying. However, before I call your ass out, I want to hear what Rory has to say about all this.
What am I saying?
Depending on what you say, Rory, I'm gonna call your ass.
But he might attack. He might attack Rory if it's easier.
The page is exactly what it's made of by the people who post in it, and there's never been any really set rules. Those were tested this past month. It was an interesting experience, and I thought we were past it. I thought we were done.
It's good. It's good to cross the line every once in a while. It lets you know that you still have one.
Okay, so here's my thoughts on it. I don't know why I was made a moderator of the thing, but I think that moderators have a responsibility at some level to keep some decorum because that's the function of a moderator. But with that said, we have talked behind the scenes, and this is Inside Skippy for all of you listeners, all of our 2 to 3 listeners.
All three of you now.
Yeah.
Talking about you.
Three of the 3 listeners are here.
Damn it.
Going to number 5 with a bullet.
I agree with what Doc and Rory said flat out that when I don't like, I just move along, or if I feel like to comment, I comment this and that. I get it. But I feel in an awkward position because there's a lot of, when I say dirty, I mean the harming of children memes. I can't do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? I can't do it. That was screwed up. Even though it's a joke, but what did I do? I just kept scrolling by. But calling you out because you guys weren't very pleased with the stuff happening as well. Can you admit to that?
I said that. I said there's a lot of stuff that goes on that I don't agree with at all, and I just got to keep scrolling.
Okay, all right.
So I came clean with that right at the beginning. I led with that. That was the lead note.
Okay, that's all I'm saying, and I interwove that
into an accusation.
No, not an accusation, because the way you phrased your shit was like putting me out, for even being shocked at what was going on. But I just wanted to use that as a bounce off point to say that JP had gotten busted for something that was ridiculously not even offensive. And that's all. Sorry.
So how long's Facebook jail?
3 days.
That's it. 3 days.
We're gonna get him a bag of weed with a file in it and try to get it to him. Hey, good JP.
You said that's it. Like, no, he needs like 6 months.
I wish we could have signs waiting for him.
So, in any event, what's been going on? What's new in the world of Ryan?
Nothing. Not a very interesting person, Eloy. You know this.
No.
This is where you should bring up Hella.
Oh, there's a good one.
This
is why Doc runs scratched.
No. But by the way, Eloy, remember before we were talking, I feel like Kermit the Frog. I watched an episode of The Muppet Show with my kids the other day, and he was just trying to get the show on. He was backstage and kind of flipping out, and like it was I was like, yeah, I get it now. I was always wondering why it was a little off and a little...
Right, because he has a hand up his ass.
He liked it.
I don't know what the association is.
Long, green, smells like pork.
Oh my gosh.
So go on with your Hella 90s, because I didn't understand Doc's Kermit the Frog reference and why that is applicable.
Okay, Hella 90s is coming back. I think you all knew that. Or it is back. It is back. And Doc brought up before the show, because we were talking about a listener of Scratched, and obviously a listener of Hella 90s too, Jeremy Pennigan.
Shout out to Jeremy. We let Ryan say that because he knew the proper pronunciation.
But not until I was told how to say it.
Long time listener, first time caller.
But he's probably going to jump on and do a couple episodes here and there.
Nice. If he does well in the farm system, we'll call him up to the big club.
Right. Hey, now. Shout out to Julian too. He's going to do a few too.
I don't like that guy.
Yeah. It's like we don't let him on the podcast.
Remember that time that he swore on YouTube live? We left him on Scratch for 30 seconds, and he started throwing around F-bombs live on YouTube. I'm never going to let him put that down, by the way.
You can't take him anywhere.
You.
So what happened that you got this re-energized, whatever you want to call it?
Oh, well, it was I was doing it anyway after I stepped down from Scratched with Loin. But, things happened.
Yeah.
And so we put that on hold, and I had been talking to him back and forth and asked him if he cared if I went ahead with it. And he was cool with it. So I figured I'd fly solo with it. And then I talked to a couple other guys, and they're cool with stepping in here and there if there's an episode that warrants discussion.
So for people who don't know what we're talking about, how would you describe Hell in 90s?
I don't know if I describe it. I can tell you how the format is. Basically, like just picking a topic or a genre of music or a certain year within the decade or anything, music, food, movies, and just talking about that one specific thing. How I reformatted it for now is to just kind of do it like a history type thing, so I don't have to have a bunch of discussion, so I can just kind of do it on my own in my free time. So that's what it is now.
Right on. That's fun.
Yeah.
Cool. And I
Good when you start. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, sorry.
I said when you start getting lots of downloads, make sure to shout us out.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to be able to say it part of the Scratch Podcast Network. It makes it sound kind of official.
SPN.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it weird though how all this, and why did you back away from doing the pod? Did it just get old for you? Because I remember
because I'm usually in bed right about now.
Oh, so that's really the only reason?
Yeah, I wasn't lying. Work just got busy, and I'm getting up at like 4 or 5 in the morning, and
right.
It's hard to soar with the Eagles when you got to hoot with the Owls.
That's right.
Well, because I was like, because you never gave an explanation. Seriously, I was like, well, hell, did I cross the line in any way and stuff?
That was actually the exact explanation I gave.
Yep.
But I wasn't satisfied.
No.
Reason for leaving? Check Eloy. Only one word. I don't know.
So the thing is, though, that when this all started originally, we were actually doing that podcast with Matt Haas, and honestly, you guys, what was it?
It's like I remember you guys do. It was Made by Nation, but I remember when you were syncing audio and you used to do that snap. I used to laugh every time. I was like, I don't even know what they're doing, but it's hilarious to me that they're doing it that way.
It made no sense.
None. But I still don't understand it. So,
well, no, because
I don't get this high quality audio that people are trying to achieve. I mean, we eat it on air and shit like that, so it doesn't matter to us. Obviously,
that's not a Scratch thing.
No, the idea was to record and yet record an official podcast back then, but at the same time have the live footage in person recorded as well, so people could watch us producing the podcast on air, and people would come just for that you just said. But then one day, Ryan comes to me with Rick Wilkie, because things were, I don't think Matt Haas was totally happy with the way the thing, because in Matt Haas's mind, the production had to be pristine. And
sure. So, yeah, it's kind of person he is. He likes all his ducks in a row.
Yeah. And I'm a little bit more dirty about it, a little bit more dirty Smith about it, just throw it out there and see, and at one point I realized that this podcast, whether I drop out or somebody else should replace them within our friend structure, and it continues. Yeah. So I'm here to announce,
ladies and gentlemen.
But yeah,
it kind of is its own living, breathing thing. It's kind of nice.
By the way, screw you guys for giving it the worst name ever.
That's probably my fault.
Worst name ever. So hard to explain to people. Like completely unsearchable.
Hey, listen, 2 other people agreed when I said everybody agreed to call it Scratch.
I don't blame one person in particular.
I didn't agree.
But you can blame me for the spelling, because I said, why don't we drop the E? Maybe it's a little bit more edgy.
I didn't agree. I had
corn with a K. Yeah.
So,
I had another.
2 other people okayed that before I typed it in.
No.
Yes.
No, Eloy wanted to call it Dingle and the Berries, and he's about to bring that up right now. And Eloy,
I thought that was the topic that shall never be mentioned.
No. I'm going to bring that up right now because
Thank you very much, Doctor.
At least. No, I got to stick up for E on this one because at least that's searchable.
Yes,
I'll give you that.
Eloy, do you want to fall back on that?
What?
Do you want to go to season 5, Dingle and the Berries? You have to be Dingle though. Like if you want to front the band, you can do it. But
I just saw Ryan's face when you said the name change, and I saw a little bit of contortion on his left.
What if we took Scratched and we did like a couple months, like a side project? It would almost be like we'd be the same band, but we would play under a different name and play covers for a little bit just to kind of get out and recharge the batteries. We could
whatever.
We could do like a folk act, and it could be Dingle and the Berries.
But just think, we would never have the Scratch Podcast Network. It would be the Dingle and the Berries Podcast Network.
No, it would still be part of the Scratch Podcast Network. It would be just special edition Dingle and the Berries.
Now, I want to bring Rory into the fold here of our conversation because I see him despondent here. We're talking all this history. Rory came in a turbulent time. Jeez. And he was feeling his way. He didn't want to step on anybody's toes. This is actual history here, guys. Rory would be like, well, whatever you guys think, if you guys think, well, maybe, no, I'm just I'm kicking back. I don't want to step on any, and we're like, no, Rory, that's not how it works, man. You take full on freaking crazy, forward march, whatever you want to say. And lo and behold, he's still quite quiet.
Lo and behold, he's just not very interesting. So what are you going to do about it?
I am trying to work on my podcast etiquette. I notice I talk over a lot. So I'm trying.
You'll get good when you stop caring about that. I remember when I used to care about what I sounded like. I don't even care.
You'll get good. You suck, Rory.
Oh. I just
you don't care.
I just want to say one thing. There is a juxtaposed sort of attitude thing going on. Doc and I kind of have a similar sort of. So here's the thing. Rory, just like Ryan, comes from the wilderness, areas of existence in America.
I live in the woods. I don't live in a cornfield, Eloy.
Rurality.
Ryan, if you take Google Earth or Google Maps
and type in where you live, it's going to say, what, is that a place? I don't know. Shit, yeah. People live there? Hold on.
You zoom in, and it's like a blink of light in the middle of just continuous fields of farming as far as the eye can see. You go to Rory's area, and you'll see mountains, and then you'll see it drop into the city of decadence. But Rory was born up in the hill, the mountain areas, in a secluded area on a farm. And so his etiquette and your etiquette are similar. And Doc and I are more rude. I'm sorry, Doc, but it's true.
I just come from the kind of family that if you didn't speak up, you didn't speak.
Yeah, I get it.
Sure. Didn't you grow up in small town America too?
Oh, yeah.
See?
Very, very much so. But
Eloy, you're the outcast.
Thanks a lot.
I wasn't with your big city living.
I wasn't being offensive to you or Rory. I was actually
are not the father.
I was actually, you guys attacked me right now, and I was actually giving you kudos for having decent manners and being polite human beings, whereas Doc and I are freaking like inner city hoodlums. And
I'm a hoodlum?
And you have gone, Ryan, and just slashed at me. Where did that come from? You're not supposed to have that sort of attitude growing up in the Midwest. Anyways, I'm just happy that you're here, and
thanks for staying up past your bedtime for us.
Yeah, I noticed Eloy talks about the history of Scratched
always, and
talks about it like it's an important thing. Which it is within our circle of people.
It is not,
but like
even a little bit.
So, say in 2,000 years, when we're in the place the ancient Egyptians are now, where everybody's just studying the things of us.
I'm going to blow your mind, but go ahead.
What do you think the hieroglyphics on our wall would look like? On our tomb wall.
Dripping with history.
Bales is going to be so pissed he's not here to answer this question.
Right? I was just thinking.
By the way, for everybody out there that gives a flying F, Bales is back in America.
The king has returned.
Yep. The once and future king is back.
The sphincter of Egypt is back.
Apparently, no worse for the wear. He says that his sleep schedule and his number 2 schedule is a little messed up, but once he gets his circadian rhythms back online,
number 2
we'll be good to go.
We have declared to call it. He has a case of the king tut butt.
Tut butt.
Number 2's when he should be number 1ing. He's got that problem. So
Innie is currently an Audi at the moment.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But safely back in America.
Was that picture of the burger and fries?
That was down the street from his house.
Oh, okay, because I was thinking that was
special Egyptian fast food.
Which I'm thinking he went there before he went home.
I'm going to blow your minds, though.
Hold on, answer my question, Eloy.
I'm going to blow your mind.
But it better be with an answer to my question.
It's going to lead right into your question.
All right, I'm satisfied then.
With the addendum that Doc had said something. Doc said that this wasn't important, and I'm going to say that Rory, yes, Rory May, yes, you, Doc Hildabrant there, you, Ryan Bitters, and Bales, even though he's not here at this moment because he's sleeping, are very important. And this is very important. And I'm just going to make the case very simply. Even if you directly may think that you're not important, from you shall descend many a people. And in the future, from this sprouting out of humanity of you guys, there will be people out there that will be led back a little trail of crumbs to you and to these wonderful conversations we've had. But and
man, that's even worse.
So that just screwed up, Doc. But the point is, no, but we do say things that are deep and meaningful, okay, as well.
We say a lot of crap.
So what episodes were the deep and meaningful stuff in?
You never heard the Dangles episode? By the way, for those of you listening in the future, you should go back to the Dangles episode.
For everybody listening at Lunar Dangles.
Yeah. But
see, they're gonna tell the history of this and be like, this is the era where everybody had a microphone before, when just a certain amount of people had microphones. And this is the stupid shit they talked about.
This is why. Blah, 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 ...
You're right.
Well, I mean, all I'm saying is that we're all important. I see all of us, you guys, as such, because of the great passage of time. And yes, it is important. So I don't belittle it in that fashion. That's what I want to. And to answer your question, what would our tombs look like?
Hieroglyphs.
Hieroglyphs. I think it would be an iPhone, be a smartphone. Definitely would be a hieroglyph.
Bic lighter.
But what do you think that iPhone would get interpreted as? Because, like, you know, when we see like some of the hieroglyphs from back then, they have like something. They're like, oh, it's a laptop. They had technology back then.
It's so simple. It's like we think it's just a rectangle brick. We don't know what this is. But everybody has one and they're staring at it.
It must be amazing.
You don't think it's the Bic lighter? Look, I conjure fire. Click. Fire. Click. Oh, that might. Think about that. If you showed that to somebody from the past, they'd be like, "What is that? Like the most expensive thing that's ever been found ever?" Be like, "No, those are just." I throw them over my shoulder when they stop working. Well, fire.
It was 99 cents at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, fire. I bought a whole basket of them. Fire. Click. Fire. I think an iPhone would just be. It'd be too much for somebody to handle.
I think so. Yeah.
It's too much. It's, you know, I mean, they're trying to explain to them in abstract.
But isn't it funny? It'd be like the reverse. Like we would look at like some crazy invention from the past, like the freaking cotton gin or something. We wouldn't know how to freaking operate that.
Nope.
I'm an experienced cotton gin operator.
Bet you are.
Now, if they
Like a
did
YouTube
gin,
class
Shout,
on
shout out,
in 3
shout-
states.
yeah, shout out to Eli Whitney,
Part of your Italian heritage.
creator of the cotton gin.
What about in the scratch tomb? What would the scratch hieroglyph be?
oh, you know the answer to that. You know the one item that will be carved onto that wall.
Just one big picture of that, and that's it.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of drippage, but other than that,
Yeah, we should just leave it at that and let the listeners imagine what it is.
yeah.
Although you said dripping, so
Well, because the cave is not airtight,
okay.
so
You can't block that, Doc.
that's right.
Ooh. Creepy.
It's awful.
Oh, that's a high class one.
Oh, fancy in the pantsy.
It's like Bale's 5-star rating right there.
Yeah, I want to know how the food was at the.
Right?
He said he got sick once.
He got the tut butt once.
The tut but
I actually went Google Earth into the pyramid area and landed right in front of the Sphinxter, and
Did it suck?
I dropped in on there and just on the outer edge of the Sphinxter, and
Right where it's crusty.
yeah,
How did it smell?
I don't know because it was on Google Earth, so I was just navigating through there, but they
Yeah,
have
That's 5G. That's coming in 5G.
scratch and sniff. Could you imagine if there was scratch and sniff, dude?
you don't think we're gonna get there?
Video?
You don't think you're gonna get there?
Oh,
That'll be
Man.
that'll be all part of the VR.
And just like with anything, porn will pick that up. They pick up all new technology.
that'll be
Porn
hard.
will drive the
Porn
technology, sir.
chooses
It will not follow. The porn will drive the technology.
I don't want scratch and sniff porn. I don't.
Scratched and sniffed.
Could you imagine?
Wow, it's so lemony fresh.
In any event, I dropped down close to the Sphinx stir,
Smells like whiskey and sadness.
and no, dude, I dropped in with Google Earth, dude. You guys are still on the smelling of the frickin'. I can't believe you, dude. That's sick.
I wonder what conditioner he uses.
They have little like roadside sales like kiosks, and they have tons of little pyramids for sale, dude. But like tons of them.
Duh.
Were those the people selling Al rugs?
I didn't see rugs, but there's pyramids like everywhere, dude. It's amazing. Yeah, it's just like
a guy trying to sell spheres, some balls, he's probably gonna have a hard time.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know if there was a drink or like if you could buy fries in an upside down pyramid. Like there had to be some sort of hacky food service there, and you have to eat one.
Oh, you're such a genius, though. Could you imagine? Yeah, they're waffle cones and like in the shape of a pyramid.
Yeah, upside down pyramid helmet.
Hey, and then you team up with the sphere guy, and he gets into ice cream. You put a piece of ice cream in that pyramid.
Dude, totally.
That would be 3 camels, please.
We could get a kiosk there and sell it to fat Americans that come over. It'd be like, hey buddy,
Mr. Whiskers.
Yeah.
So that's a wrap. We'll see you next time. So what else is new in your guys' life?
Baseball season's over.
You guys ended it with a celebratory fight.
No, we just went out for ice cream.
Did you see that video of that fight that broke out over a kids baseball team?
No, I try really hard not to watch stuff like that when it rolls in front of me.
Wow, it was crazy.
Oh, I'm sure it was. Those people are nuts, man.
Yeah.
What was it over?
I think it was a foul call on one of the batters, and the dad lost his temper and sucker punched a guy, and then all the dads got in there, and it was holy crap.
Yeah.
Now they're investigating, looking for people to make arrests, and
Oh wow.
had the kids running away, hiding for their lives. These grown men were gladiatoring it.
So
Gladiating.
were the moms in the stands yelling, "Kick his ass, Jim Bob"?
Probably.
Yeah, Seabass. Seabass. That's awful. No, there were no fights. I'll tell you what, though, like I had a really, really, really like bad, and I'm not talking about skill wise. I'm talking about behavior wise. I had a bad group of kids this year.
Oh, just punks, huh?
Not even punks, like 6 and 7-year-olds, and they're just like they all sat on top of each other on the bench, like they were all always trying to get first in line. Like constantly, I just couldn't even break him of that habit of like, all right, guys, everyone get the home plate. Let's do some running. Like there were some late elbows thrown, and he pushed me, and I was like, I don't care. Like I got to that point that I went straight Buttermaker on him, and I was like, guys, I don't care. I don't care. Get in line. I want you guys to get in line so you can run. I don't want to have to be Judge Judy every 5 minutes and have to hear both sides of the case. Just get in line.
But.
Right, exactly. Run a lap. You run a lap. I made 2 kids run a lap holding hands.
Whoa.
I was like, figure it out. What? Figure it out. I had a set of brothers on my team. At one point, one of the brothers came up to me and he said, "Hey, coach, I got a problem." I said, "What's the matter, bud?" And I looked at him, and that's when I noticed that he was completely covered in dirt. The other kid threw his glove. He filled his glove full of dirt, and he threw it at his brother. He was covered. He had it in his mouth. He had it in his ears.
No.
I didn't even know what to do, so I have a water bottle, and I took him over, and I'm like trying to like splash him with water. He said, "What should I do, coach?" I was like, "Well, what I would do is I would make sure that you let your brother know about this when you get home tonight. As soon as I'm not the responsible adult, you should avenge this. I would not let this slide." I was like, that's advice from coach. So
He's busting his brother's head into the wall. Coach told me to do it. Coach
I was
told
like, I know his dad, so that's why I even told his dad. I was like, look, if A hits B, it's because I said C. And he's like, no, that's right. He's like, he's the passive one. He needs to stick up for himself. It's like, all right, good. That's what I thought too. Just awful group of kids, though. Not awful, but like just really like misbehaved.
How many are on your team?
I had 12 children's.
Whoa, for how long?
Baseball season was 2.5 months from the start of practice to the last game.
Do you enjoy it though?
I enjoy it to a point. They really tested it. Sounds of summer. I had an uncle that every time he cracked a beer, that's what he said. Anyway, I actually, my son made the all-star team for that level, which was just like an exhibition game, and I got to coach that because I was the head coach of my team, and that was just a pleasure. Like when I was like, "Okay, gentlemen, everyone have a seat here," like, eyes locked on. My team, it was like, "Guys, we need to pay attention. We need to put the bats down. Hey, yo, come on, we put the bats down. Guys, come on, everyone wants a seat on the bench. No, spread out. Everyone give everybody some room. Give some room. Okay, come on now." When they were out in the field, it was like, "Yeah, you got to put your glove on. Hey, face the batter. Hey, who's ready?
Play the damn game."
Yeah, who's ready? Come on, look at the wife here.
So I remember when my two oldest my oldest was in like t-ball, baseball, whatever it was. And I think we sat in the stands and were more entertained by the kids in the outfield, like playing with grass and sifting through the freaking gravel like they were looking for gold.
Yeah, but the thing is like these kids are all close enough to the ball that they could get cracked.
Yeah.
Like, we're not playing with a safety ball anymore. Like that ball was pretty hard. Like if you get hit with it, you're going to know. I pitched to him for the first half of the season, and I took a couple right up the breadbasket, man. It wasn't fun.
Where's the breadbasket?
In the lower belly to wiener area.
So just north of the lunchroom?
Yeah, just I would have said I would have gotten hit in the dingle and the berries had that been the case, but like right above there. And then I took one off the ass because I was able to turn.
What?
Like it came in, and I fell the wrong way when I pitched it because I was trying to like like throw it like a dart because it was one of the kids that really he didn't make contact a lot. So I was really trying to like just put it right where it had to be for him to hit it. And he hauled off and drilled one, and I like had my back to the ball and I took it right off the right butt cheek.
I think we need to invent some safety gear for this position here. I think there's an unfulfilled niche going on.
Yeah, I know. You can't go out there. There's no self-respecting coach would go out there with the safety gear on.
Can't go out there with like a big inflatable donut around your waist.
like one of those boats that you pull the cord and it inflates all the way. Be like, oh no.
It's got some flashing lights on it, maybe a subtle buzz.
The dad pad.
The
butt cup.
No, it wasn't that hard, but like, you know, I'm also not 7 years old. If one of those kids caught one and you know, they'd know all about it. I had a kid get hit in the head early in the year. It was a pretty scary moment. My old man was there helping me coach, and he said, you know, in the 157 years that he's been coaching baseball, that it was one of the scarier, like, you know, he's like, I thought for sure. First thing I did was pull out my phone. I was about to call 911 right on the spot. I was like, really? He's like, yeah.
All right.
Kid popped up, was okay, but it was a scary moment.
Wow.
I've got a question for all of us.
Okay.
What is the strangest thing?
3.14.
How you must have answered it.
Boom.
That's a wrap. Scratch. What is the strangest thing that your city, from outsiders would think that, damn, that's strange about this city or town or cornfield or etc.? Strangest thing that you can name. I'll just name mine because you guys look like you're conflicted right now. Like, it could be the people, it could be local traditions, it could be a form of whatever. In mine is that you can easily be at any convenience store, shopping mall, restaurant, official government building, and hear a mixture of English and Spanish being utilized in the same sentence. It can happen anywhere. That is a strange thing about Miami.
I'm sorry to inform you that is every construction site I've been on for the last 8 years, dude. Like I said, when you talk about going back and forth, you ought to hear the construction Spanish, like some of these foremans kick to the labor and stuff like that.
Well, I'm talking about what I just said. Not only construction, which is a given.
Right.
I'm talking about society-wide.
Right. We're talking out in public, but I'm saying that's exactly... You know how like people pretend to talk Spanish?
Mm-hmm.
Like drywall, like I've actually heard people try to kick that to people, like in real life. I'll be like, that doesn't work. This isn't a Bugs Bunny cartoon. That's
and it's
totally
like the
not gonna
complete
work.
opposite to even attempt.
Right.
Throw an O on the end of it. That's you're getting insulted now.
No,
Well,
usually I've always found that those guys took it with a grain of salt and kind of laughed at the gringo, and that was...
Well, over here, they don't call it drywall. They call it chirro. Sheetrock is chirro. And this is all the construction guys. Bring me some chirro. That is what they call sheetrock. Just as an aside. But how about you guys? What's weird? I find that to be very odd. And yet, I was born and raised here, and I understand it completely. But I find it very odd that in a conversation, you're at a store, you're purchasing something, and they're like, "Oh, how are you doing? Eso es todo?" This and that, and they'll change from English to Spanish without a problem, regardless of who's in front of them. They assume way too much. What's weird in your areas? It could be anything that others from outside would think, "Well, heck, that's freaking weird about this place."
Probably a lot of Italians in one area for no reason. They'd be like, wow, sure, a lot of Italians in an Italian-named town in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. So,
what is it? Hildabrant, Pennsylvania?
No, Rosetto, Pennsylvania.
Rosetto, that's right.
That does sound Italian.
up by DeResta is heavily Irish influenced, and it's kind of fun because in that area there's like some genuine Irish characters you would kind of expect in that. So I like those like nooks like that of this intense little culture of a pocket.
I know some people that are, they're Italian Americans, but they're still pretty Italian. Like, they're the guy that I buy my steaks from, and most of the meat, the guy that's my butcher and my grocer, it's his grandfather's store that he's running now, and it's like dealing with the same guy when you go in there and you buy things, and like when you tell him you want 2 pounds of chip steak, he tells you it's going to make about 6 sandwiches, just like his grandfather did. It's weird like that.
And how about the Irish thing? What are the little things that you saw that you noticed that was authentically?
There were like these little business establishments. A couple of guys had tell me about they stayed at a B&B that down the street.
That's a bed and breakfast for those listening.
And it had this small Irish redhead woman as worked the front door and got them signed in, and then was the person that helped them to their room and showed them where everything was. And
so they serviced the customers by showing them their room.
Yeah, they led them around instead of throwing you, it's number 8 down the hall, here you go.
That would be traditional American customer service,
pretty much.
Whereas in this scenario, you saw some warmth.
Yep.
Nice, Bales. I mean, Rory.
Sorry, I had
nice. That was awesome.
I'm missing Bales at the moment.
Yep.
We
need to take. We know what we need to do. We need to edit that to the yep.
Who was that? That was the Muppets, right? No,
that was Sesame Street. Those are the aliens.
Nope.
Yep.
Or he imitates the telephone ringing.
Yep. Ring. Ring.
So how about Ryan's strange thing about his that's specific?
Man, I feel like you guys have cultural things that are unique and interesting.
I'm ethnic.
Well, wait a second. Rory said something about New York. You didn't say about your town in particular.
Damn it. I have to say 2 now?
No, you can say just one about your town in particular. That one you said was an extra.
I can't think of anything about the culture of people because it's just pretty generic, When I go to a store and they do the thing like, and how are you? And you can tell like they're just doing the movements of what they're supposed to say. So if you throw them a curveball like living the dream or another day in paradise to see how they react, it's interesting. I always feel bad for the ones that like they go to this dark place. They're like, well, I'm not living the dream. Like, crap, I shouldn't have said that.
Are you trying to say that there's some sort of like automated going through the motions type thing?
Yeah. Customer service? Sure.
I hit him with the, I'm not sure yet. Hi, how are you today, sir? But it's too early to tell.
Yeah, so that's what my dad does.
Yep, I always act like I just woke up too. It could be 10 o'clock at night, and it's always like, oh boy, I just got here. What's up? Hey.
So hey, when somebody like holds a door for you, or you hold a door for someone, and they say thank you, how do you usually respond?
Depends how they say thank you.
Because personally, I've caught myself because it seems so insincere.
Right. Yeah.
When they say thank you, I say yep, and I mean to say you're welcome. But I'm like, man, when I say yep, I kind of sound like a dick.
Yep does sound dickish, but
I'm not being a dick.
But you're
not doing your job. I'm doing mine.
I just hit him with the welcome.
Yeah.
Yo, mama.
I don't even hit him with the your. It's welcome.
I don't open doors for people anymore. I just don't do it. I don't do it at all. If there's a lady walking
you don't even hold doors open, Eloy?
I don't do it. If a lady
I thought I was being a dick.
Wow. Dang.
I've got a perfectly reasonable excuse for mine, but
were you beaten as a child with the door?
Well, if a lady comes up to the door and I'm, like simultaneously walking, I'll open the door, I'll keep walking, let her deal with the opening and closing. Now, I do know that the gentleman thing, and I
What
was
if she has one leg?
same difference. Get out of my way, lady.
What if she has no legs?
Lady, get to crawling, okay? I've got something to do. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I was taught to be polite, and in fact, it's instilled in me to open the door, say thank you, excuse me. I avoid if like you're walking somewhere and somebody's coming at you. Always give them room to move. If you're in line, you give them space in front and back. You avoid trying to bother people, and you accommodate people. However, in Miami,
gentleman.
you have to be a gentleman. But however, in Miami, with the recent explosion in population, you have a lot of people, and with the advent of the what you call feminism, you have a lot of people where you open the door. The door. I was gonna say you open the window and you crawl in. They don't appreciate that for some reason. You're crawling in through the window. You open the door, and I've had the situation happen various times. I'm going to open the door. I grab the door and open it. The lady grabs the door and opens it like she wrestles it out of my hands and then makes me go through the door. And I just walk in and say thank you. And I've seen it happen a few times, and I'm like, well, screw that. If I'm going to be freaking wrestled out of the door and there's this whole freaking thing happening, well, I'm not bothering with it no more.
So you're trying to be polite. They beat you to the door somehow. They open the door aggressively for you to walk through, and you're annoyed that you can't be polite to them, so you're going to just take the door and walk through the door.
I'm not going to punch them in the face, grab the door, and drag them through and say, okay, lady.
Why are you so upset about it?
I'm not upset. I'm saying that, well, you know what upsets me? You want to know the truth? That you judged me before I explained the thing.
The way you were talking about it, you're like, and these new people in this growth of the area. And, well, heck, Eloy, sounds like you got to figure it out.
You have to kind of, if it's an old lady, you open the door for her. If it's a young lady, you kind of go through the door and hold it open behind you. Like, hey, let me get the, let me start that for you there.
Obviously, Rory May has some issue with what I said. I'll be clear. What Doc just said is perfectly acceptable. I'll at least push the door and let the wind hold it back so they have a little.
Let me make at least the least amount of human effort to acknowledge your existence as a human being also on this planet. That's what I did. Just kind of hold it open a little bit.
You do that, by the way, like,
oh yeah, here you go.
In case you noticed.
No. Let me. I'm not holding it open for you, but I'm starting it. I'm walking through the door. Here you go.
The attention's there. You can see it. I'm just.
It's like I'm passing you a baton.
Even though you, Rory, are from an isolated area of the country where people are quite polite.
No, it's a mountain in the sky.
In a mountain in the sky, even though, and the clouds like rush by like your window when you wake up in the morning.
He lives in Cloud City,
and you see like birds flying by the window and stuff.
Oh,
it's
beautiful. It's a beautiful morning every morning.
Yeah, and the dew just you bathe in the dew, and then the sun shines and it dries your skin.
100% organic. It's a dew shower. It has a sponge system with a recycling pump. It's awesome.
Literal Mountain Dew.
Yeah, literal Mountain Dew.
The sugar out every third shower, but it works.
Right. Not a sponsor.
Well, honestly, I'm gonna say that even though you're from areas such as that, and I'm here in frickin' Miami, and like it's cutthroat and all that.
But you are making the choice to behave that way, just as much as I'm making the choice to be a gentleman and hold the door for whoever. I don't care. I'm just trying to be a decent person.
You were raised.
Yeah,
you just said you were raised that way too.
I don't hold the door open for them. I hold it open for me.
You were raised around farming equipment, and you had time to be taught the correct.
You had John Deere pajamas, probably.
You had time to be properly, even though you were ranked bunctuous as a kid, and you
got them at the thrift store. They were slightly used, but still okay.
Even though you did slightly bad,
previously loved.
There was a skid mark 50% off.
I agree. He was a troubled youth.
I was stealing dump trucks.
But even though you did all that,
Don't forget about that.
You were coming of age, and your body was growing, and
growing hair in funny places. Thinking about
you were experiencing hormonal difference.
Oh my God, it's me, Rory.
Wait a second. I'm not even going in that direction. All I'm trying to say is that Rory was taught the proper way, and I live here in the city. But regardless of that, I live here in the city. I do want to stress that I was taught by people that were actually from the country, because my grandparents, they all lived in the frickin' country. Mind you, in Cuba, the middle of frickin' nowhere.
So fair, Eloy.
I was taught those same lessons. But if you were to move down...
But that's the wrong assumption, was that we weren't taught those lessons. My family are a bunch of assholes to the core. My parents are an exception, but grandparents, might as well have never had them. Aunts and uncles, give me a break. And watching them and how they treat each other and how they treat things and people around them, I made that conscious choice to not be like that. I won't be like my grandfather.
Well, Rory, you are exceptionally... I think that you're good-natured, and I think we all are. But
I agree with that. But if you're going to go out of your way to inconvenience somebody with the intention of, I might as well do it now, that's just a lot of used unnecessary energy. I'd rather just be polite and just go with the flow. I'm holding the door, come through, no big deal.
Okay, and that's good for you. I'm going to keep slamming the door. The
poor legless woman.
Just grab that lady's fingers, throw it in the door, and then slam it shut a couple of times. That's what you get for trying to go into the store next to me. Stay out here until I go all the way in. You stay out here.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were finished. I'm just talking over people.
Would you let what?
No, Doc had
go
something
for
to say.
it.
Would you let what, Ryan? What would you let, Ryan?
What? No, I was going to say, would you let somebody in the grocery store cut in front of you?
Hell no. I'm in fact waiting for people to ask me so I can chew them a new one. I said the F-bomb. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. I said it too.
No, if you got a cart full of groceries and somebody behind you has like 5 things, you'll let them jump in front of you?
By the way, side note for editing, someone needs to teach me how to do the actual bleep so I don't have to cut those F's out.
You just go beep.
All right, back to scratch.
It's just that simple.
No, Ryan, you don't let them in, because if you give them an inch...
I don't believe you. I think you're putting on a front. I think you would let someone cut in front of you.
I agree with Ryan here.
Okay, you want to know the truth of the matter? That I used to, but as I've grown in age and wisdom and pissed offness, I've realized that people take your goodwill and good intentions, unless they're good people as well. And by the way, none of us are good. We all have errors, but give me a break. Be decent. Well, people aren't decent around here. Not all of them. There's a lot of decent people, but...
Yeah, but how do you know who's decent and who's not?
If they mess with me and talk to me, I'm going to frickin' chew them a new one.
Like, before the conversation even starts?
If okay, I told you this.
I don't care if you have no legs.
Okay, check this out. I was at Home Depot about 2 years ago. I think I told you this, Ryan, a while back. And I finished purchasing my stuff, and I'm walking through the parking lot. I open, and by the way, my truck, it's frickin', it's a disaster. And so it's not like I look like I have frickin' money pouring out my pockets. And I'm putting stuff in the back of, in the back of the truck, and I'm getting ready, and I see this hot little bumblebee number walking it all the way through that parking lot, and guess who she's walking straight towards? Yeah, you guessed it, straight towards me. She's walking towards me, and I'm looking, and I'm a jaded mother trucker, and she's walking. Once she got right there, she says, "Excuse me," and I said, "No, sorry, I don't got any money." And she got pissed, and she said, "I wasn't going to ask you for money, and I wasn't this and that." And I said, "Oh yeah, well, good for you. What were you going to ask me?" And she says, "I was going to ask you just directions." Yeah, right. Thanks.
Dude, you need to like move.
Yeah, we've been saying that for years.
Like I was like, I used to think like, hey, you need to move. Ha ha ha.
You know
But,
what you
like,
could use, Eloy? You could use a cornfield.
I think you're right, Ryan. I could use a cornfield, or I could use a place that has like 20 pizza joints like half a block away, or I could use a mountain cloud getaway destination.
Why don't you come and visit, and I'll make you all the pizzas you want. I'll make them grandmom style, square edges.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to visit each and every one of you.
More than welcome.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to drive up. Who should I go to first?
Well, you're going to slam the door in our face when you get here?
Well, I told you. He's going to go to open the door for me. I'm going to grab it.
No, not to my friends. To my friends, I give them all the courtesy that is just, and then some.
Yeah, I was going to say, if that's how you treat strangers, how do you treat your friends?
Yeah. Now, wait a minute. We were strangers at one time.
Yeah, but when you have an interaction, there's a level of back and forth of diplomacy and correct sort of decency between people. And if each of those protocols are followed by each side, you then start to judge the person and say, this person is a decent human being, or I get along with this person, therefore I put him or her in the category of friend.
Okay, so the little Nicaraguan woman behind you in the store at Publix with 5 loaves of bread in her arms wants to jump in front of you. If you have a conversation first, are you going to let her jump in front of you?
If she's Nicaraguan and she's old,
loaves of bread you're holding on to.
If she's Nicaraguan and she's old and she doesn't look like a thief,
Sabretooth.
Because some of them look like that they're some of these old ladies.
Are you stereotyping?
Whether they're Nicaraguan or Cuban or whatever, some of these older ladies,
profiling is wrong.
They could be your grandma. Okay, is just old ladies. How about old? Do you want me to just? Old ladies can be frickin' 5-finger shuffle, frickin' kleptomaniacs of theft. So you have to judge whether you give them entrance into the line or not.
What are these old ladies stealing?
Frickin' like chiclets and stuff.
Dude, speaking of old ladies, I showed you guys. I took the boys strawberry picking.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
hashtag things white people do on Saturdays.
That's awesome.
It was a good time, and the strawberries were really good and they were really cheap. But you had to see the old housewives in that strawberry patch beating feet, man, and pulling out. They had like the grocery store style box, like, you know, you get at like the farmer's market. So I tried to talk to every one of these women that I could, you know, if we were close, and because the boys were there, so the boys would strike up the conversations. Little old ladies love kids, and I'd ask them all, and they were all there getting strawberries to make pies. Well, this is when I make my strawberry pies. 3 different women said the same thing. This is the time of year when I make my strawberry pies. Everyone just loves them. Oh,
yeah.
I was like, okay. Grandma? I was like, thank you for still existing. That's what I thought as I was walking away. I was like, thank you for still being a person.
Let me ask you this. If I left Miami, sincerely, guys, would your areas, what do you think of your area? I mean, would that be a place? I mean, you knowing me and everything would, you know, I kind of like to live life on the chill, on the, what would you say? Would it be a good fit for me? Yes, no. I mean, what would you guys say?
I say yeah in my area, but I've told you that before.
Oh, so you think that your area for sure?
Yeah, like you don't like people bothering you,
but I mean, I like running water and freaking like food.
Holy crap! I'm sorry. Every house comes with an outhouse around here.
I'm kidding. Okay. So it's very peaceful.
Here's your shovel. Here's your bucket.
Yeah. It's not bad around me. You just lack choices. There's, you know.
Yeah, I think it would be a culture shock to you.
There is very little spice of life here. There's just life.
Jeez. Well, Ryan so far is good. Doc sounds like
hey man, if you're hungry around me, it's just how it is. If you're hungry and you want to get some like takeout. You can get Chinese food, or you can get pizza.
That's it?
Nunk. Yes.
You don't have Grubhub out there?
It's where would they come from? Like those places are 25 minutes away from me. By the time I got to me, it'd be cold.
Doc, where's your nearest Nicaraguan food place?
Nicaraguan food from my house?
Yes.
I will Sweetwater.
It's by Eloy. I couldn't even tell you. It's probably Allentown. Probably at least a half an hour drive. 45 minutes.
Oh, well, wait a half an hour I can deal with. 45 minutes, I mean, I guess I can, but you're freaking adding 15 minutes to it, dude.
Oh, it's depending on traffic. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Fair enough.
I still told you could sell your properties down there and come up here and buy like 5 houses. Like, no joke.
So I should put like what a dingle and 2 berries in each house. How do I accommodate 5? Like what?
You could buy like property up here. Like you get yourself a nice chunk of land and everything.
Oh wow. Well, okay,
Eloy Ranch,
right?
Eloy Ranch.
Little miniature Eloys running around, free grazing.
Oh man,
horrible! How dare you? All right, so Doc's is.
I have to milk my Eloys. Let me get my jug.
Can somebody please milk the Eloys? All right, so what about your area? Now we know. See, Doc didn't sell it too well. He said,
like I said, it's a good place to lay low, but if you're not coming over to my house for supper, the food's not very good. By the way, you could come over to my house for supper or whatever you wanted.
I wouldn't be a bother, by the way. If I lived close to you, Doc, I wouldn't be like, hey, Doc, I have my own things. I'm very...
Well, no, my wife would bite your head off if you became a bother. That's why I keep her around, but...
I would not even...
but you would still be invited over for supper.
Okay, all right, fair enough. So, all right. And so, Rory?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I'm thinking about moving.
Really?
Yeah. Really? It is expensive as hell out of here.
Really?
Yeah. It must be getting rough around that.
Well,
as much driving as I do going to the shop, I'm seriously considering just starting my own business and having a shop on the property. Trying to get that kind of setup here in Colorado, it's like $700,000 easy.
What do you mean?
Having the land and the space and the overhead, you got to have Colorado the way it is now. You got to have cash in hand.
Yeah.
Isn't your shop on your property with your family?
No, I live 30 minutes down the hill.
I knew it. Remember, I told you that he lives distant from civilization. So, but what you're trying to
live in town, Eloy. The shop is where I grew up.
Up in the mountains.
Up in the mountain.
So you go to work up in the mountains, and then you come back down.
Yep.
I thought it was
civilization.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought you lived up in the mountains and then came down.
I lived up in the mountains, and then when I went to college, I moved down in town. So it was a half hour from downtown Denver, and it was a half hour from work.
Right.
After college, ended up being in this same neighborhood still, being that it was affordable, and the setup was the same. But it's just getting ridiculous. And I'm driving an hour at least now every day, and traffic's just getting more and more worse.
I mean, I do know that your area is a congested area.
Oh, yeah. So I love the States. It's beautiful. No complaints. Typically, the people are okay. Would recommend it, but it's just pricey.
So you're saying it's okay. And it's overwhelmingly populated.
And there's people are coming. They're trying to figure out. It's what's interesting is watching between Denver, Castle Rock, and then Castle Rock to Colorado Springs start to fill up with housing, and it's even going even further down to Pueblo, which is like a 3-hour drive from here. Pueblo is just basically a kind of a hole in the wall town. Seeing money go into that, and they're starting to develop. It's interesting to see the growth, but at the same time, the changes that I need, I can't afford it here.
Do you want more peace? Is your thing economics only, or do you want? See, for me, I just want a small town, yet accessible to like a Walmart and a Home Depot. But I really don't want like freaking crowded. I don't want that. I don't care. I want internet though, so I do want internet. But other than that, I kind of want to be like, I don't want the big city. So what's your thing? Is it just the financial thing, or do you want a certain environment, or?
Yeah, it's the financial and then just lifestyle. If I could have a shop on the property, that solves a lot of time and a lot of money.
Yeah. I see where I work, Rory. Much of the work I do is in a place where all those people that sold property that was worth a lot of money moved to. And these are the weirdest, some of the worst people you'll ever meet in your life. These are people that try to pass themselves off for being smart when all they did was sell their property and move.
Yeah, right.
It's like you did nothing. You did nothing besides ride a real estate boom, and here you are pretending like you were some business guy. Come on. You bought your house for $100,000 and you sold it for $7 million, and then you moved out here and you just look like you can tell right away they buy the house, they buy the toys, they change everything.
Oh well, I would be kind of that guy. I bought this house for a short sale. It was cheap. It was cheaper than the rent I was paying for an apartment. I had to get this house, so being able to sell it for more. But all my toys would be like in the shop. No one would see them. They'd just be in the building making noise.
Mm-hmm.
Does your house now have shop space?
I don't have the zoning to run such a business.
But do you have a... Oh, okay, gotcha.
Or you need hairy space too, right? I mean, you're not a good neighbor.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the other thing, you know. If
Politely
want to work late, you know.
What?
If I want to work late,
okay,
that's kind of hard to do at the shop as far as working late and then knowing I have at least a half-hour drive back home.
So you got to deal with a lot of bureaucracy and crap in your area. Is that Colorado as a whole or just your area?
It seems like the Front Range most of the time.
Is there space on up in your property up the mountain where it's feasible to build?
That's the last place I want to live because that's where I grew up.
So you have basically no want to do that.
Yeah, I don't. I hate seeing people I went to high school with. I want something different. If I'm going to do it, I want it to be a good, positive, complete.
Do you want to stay in the state of Colorado?
That would be nice, but I'm not foreseeing it. It's just expensive wherever you go.
You know where it's cheap?
No. Cornfields.
Mississippi.
Oh, cheap to live? Texas, too. Holy crap, Texas is affordable.
No, whoa, wait a second. It depends. That West Texas stuff, you're in the desert, dude. I'm talking about like East Texas, okay, and it's expensive. But that West Coast Texas, you're in the middle of you're in the desert, dude. Well, you're in the desert now, but I don't know.
Desert on a mountain in the clouds.
You're in the desert on a mountain in the clouds.
Desert mountain in the clouds.
I mean, I don't know why.
That's a good band name.
Why do people do that? It is beautiful, but other than that, you got no running water. You have to go hunting for elk. I mean,
every house comes with an addle-addle.
The most reasonable of places to live, to be honest with you, is probably where Doc lives, as far as its like landscape. And
yeah, you want to go to New York City, 2-hour ride. You want to go to Philadelphia, 2-hour ride. You can be in Baltimore, 2.5 hours. You can go to DC in about 4.
You don't want to live in Miami.
Go see Bales, 5.
You don't want to live in a place like Miami, although it's awesome in weather-wise in that it doesn't snow. It's hot as hell, but it's so congested, and it used to be good 20 to 25, 30 years ago. You could go to the beach on the weekends. There's no traffic. You could go to the West Coast towards Naples, and it's just a little town. You could do all sorts of Everglades. But now it's like everything is a mission because it's so oversaturated. So this is a bad call. Rory has desert, and then he's got similar issues, and then expensive. But
what's interesting is how your approach to where to live and my approach to where to live are very different. I'm thinking about if I start my own business, where is there money? I don't want to go to Florida because it's so humid. my product is going to be constantly rusting. People are going to be complaining about the maintenance with it. So then you go into aluminum and stainless steel. I hate forging that stuff. Florida has always been out of the question. I can't do work there.
I've never been so offended.
How about Utah?
Don't ever attack
Utah. You got the church.
No, excuse me, with Utah.
So you just sell it to church people.
Don't ever.
I'd have to join the church. I'd have to drink.
You have to join.
My
state.
Do not attack my state. Screw that. Screw Utah. Do not attack Florida.
I think Eloy's upset. I can't. I don't know.
Sorry, I'm kidding. Sorry, sorry. I just, I mean, I kind of feel like Rory's attitude towards Florida. I can have that attitude, but who is this guy from the frickin' mountains to come down and tell us
comes it down and he doesn't like it here?
I don't know. Everywhere I'm thinking about, there's like snow.
Utah's nice though.
Snow is safe.
Oh,
I'm talking about a desert.
What about like New England?
Expensive.
Think
Rains.
of all the clam chowder, man.
Yeah, but
rains way too much.
You can find pockets in there where you can live for inexpensive and be around people that are expensive.
Ryan's area there's neat things about it, but they're topographically.
But then I'm looking at do I want to forge, corn cob shaped objects? No, that's not my forte. I'm not going to do it.
Once you've seen one forged corn cob, you've seen them all.
So you're about the geography,
dude. Lake Tahoe.
Why are we whispering Lake Tahoe?
The secret.
The Lake Tahoe area, Rory.
I've heard they have money there.
Yes.
I can't even spell Tahoe.
It's with a T.
Okay.
You'd enjoy Eloy when the leaves change. There's like a nice 2 weeks.
I like that. I like the idea of Christmas and the seasonal changes. We don't have that. It's always hot here, dude.
I feel like you would get sick for the first 5 years you would live in this area. Every fall, winter, you'd get sick.
Is it that bad?
I mean, the temperature changes can be really drastic. Because Doc's about on the same line as me.
Absolutely. Ryan gets the same weather I do about 5 hours before I do.
I'm a tropical frickin' wonderland where I'm at.
But all you know is heat.
Or is it 3 hours? I can't remember, Ryan. We used to have it timed out. You used to be able to tell me the rain was coming.
All I know is
it's a few hours. Yeah, 3, 4, 5 hours.
Three.
You know what? I'm kind of pissed about that. All I know is frickin' heat, dude. All I know is heat every day for 40 some odd years. I'm going to say the rest of the numbers so that it doesn't sound that long and extended, but I've only known heat, man.
Scratched.
So Doc, if you have to travel to Society from where you're at, which direction? What's the closest town with a Walmart? Is all I want to know.
Oh, how close to a Walmart? 20-minute ride. 15.
Oh,
really? Wow.
We actually have a really nice Kmart about 15 minutes from my house. There's still one.
You still live where there's a Kmart that exists?
And not only does it exist, but it is a good Kmart. It is still, Wingate, Pennsylvania. Yeah, Wingate, Pennsylvania still rocks this Kmart hardcore.
Do they have a Little Caesars inside the Kmart?
They do not. But there is one by where the other Walmart is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Walmart probably 20 minutes away in two directions, actually.
Well, how close is yours, Ryan?
8 minutes.
What?
Yeah, and that city has 2 Walmarts.
You have 2 Walmarts?
Yeah. It's a big city.
Oh, I'm good then. I could deal with that. The only thing is, that's it. You have one, and do you have internet? Well, obviously you're talking to us right now, so.
It's for the past 5 years, it's had faster internet than you.
Hand crank internet.
Okay, fine. How about running water, Ryan?
No, that hasn't got here yet.
I gotta pour some more gas in my internet generator. I'll be right back.
Hold on, guys. I gotta go crank that. I gotta go crank up the internet for a while.
Okay,
yeah.
Fine.
I genuinely think because Doc's town sounds similar to mine. It's kind of small. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's only 7,000 to 8,000 people that live in our town.
Yeah.
But
there's nothing special.
He's got more of a wise guy thing going.
I'm a
That
wife.
might be his family.
Yeah, you got Doc. You've got more of a you know, like you know.
I don't know.
I've been around the block. Hey, you, buddy. Hey, you. Yeah, you.
I think in Eloy's mind, you're Joe Pesci.
Do I come off as boombots like that?
You have a little bit of that.
Do I?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Not a lot. You don't have a lot. You have a little bit of that.
I could probably see why.
Very little, but you have a little bit of that. But you have that area vibe. You do have a slight area vibe.
Yeah, I get it.
So like, because I can tell Doc is from a different area. Do I sound like I'm from Deliverance when I talk?
Dude,
Be honest with me.
You sound so concerned.
Can I tell you how you sound?
Please say no.
Feel like a pig.
I'm going to tell you how this. I love that he asked that question because I'm going to milk this for all it's worth.
No milking. No milking.
No milking. Okay. So when I hear you, say something right now, and I'll tell you what I hear.
You're gonna have to give me something to say. Oh, I guess I just said something.
Okay.
Squeal like a pig.
No, here we go. You're go. Hold on.
You sure got a pretty mouth.
When you say pretty, say it with a U.
Oh, purdy. There you go.
Look at me, boy. No, you have no. Oh,
woo!
You have no act. Sorry, Doc. You have no accent in my hearing at all. You're like devoid of freaking. Just like Rory, you're devoid. Doc has a little bit of that I don't want to say New England, but a little bit of that. Slight
New England.
No, not
no. You're hearing the Italian echo, especially when he talks about his family. You can start hearing the inflection start coming out.
Yeah, it's a little bit of that, and it's a little bit.
He just speaks Pennsylvania Dutch.
Yeah, I speak backward.
Dutch oven, Pennsylvania Dutch oven.
It's a little bit of that Northeast uptight.
A little bit of that. You've got not as much as Miter Mike, but there's slight attitudes. It's not even. It's just there's something going on there, right? Rory, but it's very subtle. You can't even pay it. But Rory has no frickin' variation, just like Ryan. There's no frickin' variation of. There's nothing.
I am a robot.
Yeah, there's nothing. So
I have no soul.
I heard a slight variation in the last soul.
Now,
I think.
How about me? Can you hear the South Florida in me? Can you hear?
You're a bitter old man slamming doors and.
Well, what I always found weird about people from Florida, for the most part, especially once I think it's like halfway down Florida, they don't have a southern accent.
Oh, they should have such a southern accent.
It's you're from the South,
yeah,
but somehow you don't have that truck stop accent. And I say truck stop accent, I mean that's when you start seeing truck stops is when you start getting down south.
Everybody here has an accent in South Florida. We don't hear it like everybody else doesn't hear it, but we have an accent that's typical to Florida, to Miami. And if we get excited, you'll hear it. So if you hear Javi from Javi's Wood Shop or and we start getting into it, there's a little bit of a rhythm that we get into, that emphasis on certain words, and that's the Florida in us, and that has that. So, but I don't know because I'm always in my skin, and I need you guys to tell me.
How do you say Florida?
Huh?
How do you say Florida?
I say, "Hey, Florida."
Jeez.
Smooth as silk.
I say Florida.
Right. And like up here, I would say up here we probably just say Florida. Florida. But I swear, like people up in the northern part of Florida say, not quite. I'm probably exaggerating. Say Florida.
Yeah, that's a southern draw. But how about Colorado? Do you say Colorado? Because here in Florida we say Colorado.
We say Florida.
Colorado.
Florida.
Yeah. People from Pennsylvania never say they're from Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
No, we say PA.
Yeah, right.
Everyone here is pronounced PEE-YA, PA.
It's got to be spelled out right, though.
Well, I'm saying that's exactly how they say it too. We're from PA.
There are subtle differences between our speech, all of us and stuff, but we probably don't quite notice it because we're all, but there has to be.
Eloy, I have the proof. Linguists who have studied African American vernacular English throughout the U.S. say the Florida accent, evolved directly from the Southern dialect. So it is a version of the South.
That's bull hockey.
Bull honky, he says.
That pair's bull honky.
Wouldn't it be funny if when Eloy turns off the hangout, he's just got like a real thick Southern drawl and he's just putting on a voice the whole time?
Lord.
He's the only one. No, he's like he goes right into like a Telemundo sitcom, and he just exclusively speaks Spanish from the minute that he goes offline.
¿Cómo estás?
Some woman in a short skirt walks in from the other room and Rebecca, ¿por qué?
¿Por qué, Rebecca?
Tight shot.
¿Cómo está usted?
Tight shot. Tear running down Eloy's cheek for no reason. Commercial.
I'll tell you one thing about those Spanish novellas.
Can you understand them?
Growing up, totally. I can.
I can't understand it. It's too fast.
Growing up, every, I guess, household, if it was a grandma or a mom or a sister, this liked one or another one of those telenovela, and they were so exaggerated, dude. It's kind of like Knots Landing or Dallas or whatever. Or what was that? The daytime novellas.
Days of Our Lives, General Hospital.
Yeah,
Young and the Restless.
It's such a typical thing. I'm telling you, you guys would, if you've never been to Miami, you guys would be totally, like, wow, you'd love it. Like, you'd all love Miami.
Would, because I think everybody that's ever heard this podcast never ever wants to go to Miami.
I'm coming. Before Eloy moves, I'm going down and I'm eating the Nicaraguan food.
Oh yeah,
I'm doing it.
But I don't want to go anywhere but Eloy's house because everybody sounds terrible.
No, I'll go to Javi's house.
Well, everybody is terrible except me and Javi, probably.
You said probably.
Yeah. Well, if you guys were to come down here, I mean, your Doc seems to be adventurous with the food, so we'd go and have a great old time. You have to have a consistent something that you can go to visit. So food will be the Doc thing. So we could go and hang out somewhere, and then there happens to be food, so you could try a sampler, this or that. Would you guys be open to samplers and exploring different things like,
Yes.
Yeah.
I make a deal with you. I try the Nicaraguan food.
Oh, dude.
If you try Rocky Mountain oysters.
Hell no, dude. I'm not going to put a...
I want us to be adventurous, but you don't want to be adventurous.
Dude, but okay, I'm not going to ask you to eat genitalia.
I mean, I'll do it, but I'm
Just
not
do
going
it to say you did it.
No.
Yeah, I've never had the opportunity.
What's it going to do to you?
I can't like I said once before, Ryan, I can't promise I'm going to eat something or not eat something until I see it and smell it. I want to, because to me that that looks all right. I'll eat that. Or no.
Are you appreciative of your nuts? If you
of my nuts, yes.
Yeah, and you don't want to part with them, right?
Right, but I don't get cut into steak either.
Not yet.
I guess that
right.
No, dude, I don't know, but I don't know why, but the Rocky Mountain oyster thing, it's so disturbing to bite into a poor male animal's nuts and eat it and like think that you're happy.
That animal is dead. What are you going to do with his nuts?
It's not like they go out and harvest the testicles from one.
But these nuts are everywhere.
And then they grow back for the next year.
Go somewhere special to get those nuts, guys. They're not at the gas station on a stick.
It's like the grapefruit of a cow. It's like, oh, here are this year's nuts.
I would totally eat that to survive. If I was lost in the woods or on a mountain, I would eat the nuts.
I think you would eat it just to try it.
I'm saying that the Nicaraguan people have been feeding you nuts for years and you don't even know it because they're so good at cooking it up. They're calling it liver. They're calling it liver, and you don't even know.
One of the best meals that'll give you a freaking total hard on is eating Nicaraguan food. I'm telling you right now, it's so freaking hard.
I can't wait.
I have to wrap up Eloy's accent thing because this is Eloy. 350,000 surveyed response. Florida people who use y'all or you guys.
Mm-hmm.
From West Palm Beach south, y'all is rare. From Gainestown north, it's common.
I say you guys. I don't say y'all.
You say you guys.
Yeah.
Use guys.
Use guys.
I don't say use guys.
Close enough.
Well, it's weird because Miami, and I wonder if it was always like that or had something to do with the amount of New Yorkers, like, you know what I mean, to and from, that it's very, you use guys.
Cubans.
Very Northeast.
Cubans do have a little bit of that attitude that Italians have.
I'm talking ethnically. I'm talking region, like just Northeast people are kind of.
We have a lot of Jews here.
What?
Right. What? Again, not ethnic groups or religious groups. I'm talking about.
We have to start looking you up, Trump. What are you talking about?
This is the place people come to retire.
There's 514,000 Jews in Florida.
It's you guys.
Didn't think you'd have to Google that today, did you?
No.
Well, is that a good number or what?
I don't know.
It's approximately a shitload.
Do we have a good Jew ratio in our city?
Well, see, look, here's
what's the Jew to Gentile ratio?
No, but it's totally awesome because we do have sections that are New York-y or ish. We do have sections where you get a lot of the New York sort of like, hey, and yet they're Florida, but they're New York. It's kind of weird. We got a little bit of everything, dude. But the food, dude, you eat Nicaraguan food, Ryan. Just imagine steak, but it's thin cut though. But they give you strips of it, and then they have this rice it's a special rice that they have. They have cheese that they frickin' fry, and they fry so the outer crust of the cheese gets like nice and crusty, and the inside is like melty. It's like cheese sticks kind of, but without the breading. And dude, you eat that, it's like boner, dude. Automatic. It's just cheese dripping and frickin' the meat and just.
Well, 3% of those people who eat that food are Jewish.
Really? The Jewish eat
percentage.
They eat the Nicaraguan food?
Yeah. So 3 out of 10 with hard-ons are Jewish.
Oh, well, there you go.
Statistic.
And my work here is done, everybody.
Well, in any event,
I mean, I have a pretty selective palate. I mean, I'm used to eating like fried bologna and stuff. That's a staple around here.
That's screwed up, Ryan.
Fried bologna? Is it like still
fried?
flat?
Yes. You cut a slit. You cut a slit in it.
It's like a meat potato chip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put some cheese in there.
They call it Marbletown steak.
Are you kidding, Ryan?
I'm not kidding. Hey, that goes back to the question you asked earlier. What's something that people would find weird about where I live? That's probably one of them.
And it's common?
Yeah.
Because I pass by the bologna every time.
Our city has an obsession with golf carts.
I like
They're
that.
freaking everywhere.
Do they drive it in the street?
Yes, they license them here.
Oh, I can do that. I like that.
It's freaking weird.
I like that. I like golf cart. I like that.
Whatever. To each his own. It's just odd.
And you got 2 Walmarts, right?
I don't. The city beside us does.
Oh, see, there's always a catch.
Yeah, I know.
You're trying to tell me you have to drive outside your city to get to a Walmart? How far away?
8 minutes.
You have to leave my town to go to Walmart too.
Oh, 8 minutes is nothing though.
Right, you can look at all the luxurious cornfields on the way.
If you want to buy something in my town, you have to buy it from the hardware store or from the dollar store.
Dollar General or Family Dollar.
Yep, you got both.
Dude,
we're high class white trash. We got both flavors.
Ooh, see, me and Doc's towns are like mirror images of each other.
But we got a really high speed Ace hardware.
Are you guys looking at the fried bologna?
Yeah, it's delicious, by the way. In case
I'm
you want
looking
to
at it. And
know.
I'm totally.
It looks like a nipple.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
What is it? Bologna is hot dogs for people that like pancakes.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm totally down with that now after seeing it.
Do you have a McDonald's,
This is
Doc?
like fried
10
grilled
minutes.
sandwich.
I can totally eat that, Ryan, and I don't
Right
even
by
know what
that
it tastes
Kmart.
like, but I'll do it.
See, we have like probably 8 restaurants in our town.
When was the last time any of you guys had a? Whoa, that looks delicious.
Put
Actually,
an egg on it. It's a whole
Yeah,
different monster.
That's what I'm talking about. Brioche bun. Look at it's toasted.
When
Put some
was the last-
guacamole on that.
look at this guy with the Southwestern. Hit it with some guacamole.
Some green chili.
Yeah.
Have you guys had recently a Reuben sandwich? How about them apples?
Yes.
Huh?
That's one of my favorite foods.
What is?
Reuben.
It's freaking awesome.
I would rather have a Russian than a Reuben.
Really?
What's the difference?
What's the difference?
Usually they put coleslaw on a Russian
Oh, okay.
instead of the
Wait,
kraut.
isn't there another sandwich they put coleslaw on too? I feel
Yeah.
like there is.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah,
it is a
the-
Russian.
Russian sandwich is one of those things that comes in many names. But
Hey,
yeah.
that's the question. That's the question. This is the question for you guys. What is the what? Not the, but a traditional. Damn, that looks good, dude. Look at that marbled freaking.
Marble rye.
Oh my!
Get in my belly.
No kidding.
Hell yeah! Like,
I like
we
I like
love that, Eloy.
we've resorted to looking at sandwiches.
I'm
This is like sandwich porn.
I know this is
All I know is I know
This
what
is-
I'm getting for lunch tomorrow.
oh my goodness, yeah, dude.
See, that's the difference between you and me. If I want one, I'll have it for breakfast. I'll go right there. I'll be like, "What? They'll be serving eggs." I'll be like, "Hey, lady, this is what I want." She'll be like, "Really?" I'll be like, "Yep." She'll be like, "You getting it for lunch?" I'll be like, "I want it right now."
Gosh, that looks good, dude. Let me ask you guys this: what is one traditional meal in your area, in your town, neighbor, that you could call traditional to your area? There could be many. It could be something simple. If it's a dessert, if it's a drink, if it's just something. Hopefully, it's a meatball sub like that one because that looks good. But oh, that's horrible.
Eloy, the meatball sandwiches are on Sundays at my house. By the way,
Oh wow.
they're just meatball sandwich Sunday.
Well, guess what? Guess who's
It's just coming to dinner.
Guess who's coming? I mean, hey, I'll bring the beer. I don't care, or whatever drink that you. I don't care, or what? An apple pie? Let's have.
I got one, Eloy. I don't like it, but it's huge in our area. Like even the cities around us and stuff. Bean soup and cornbread.
I like it.
I can't stand it.
I like it.
Sounds delicious.
But like you know how they have like dinners, like the firemen will have dinners and stuff.
I love those.
It's always bean soup and cornbread.
I freaking like cornbread a lot.
Like how about a freaking chicken leg and
I went
some
through a
taters.
phase in high school where me and my friends Ryan would seek those out. I remember sitting in the cafeteria and getting like the free little paper, and it'd be like such and such University Christ Church is having a ham and bean dinner on Thursday. I'd be like, oh man, we should totally go. And like you'd go there for $9, you would eat like a king. They would just feed you until it came out your ears. Oh, would you guys like some pie? I would love some pie. Thank you, Miss Lady Ma'am of the church. And then those are always good. We used to hit those forever.
So,
always
Rory,
see the signs and think about doing it again.
a traditional, typical Colorado. How do you say Colorado? Is it Colorado or Colorado?
Colorado.
Colorado.
traditional meal. They're now edibles.
It's a gummy bear.
That's where I was going. Was like that is the biggest thing here. Is the marijuana is huge.
Yeah, but that's not food. Well,
Taking
it is.
taking pot, very popular. Who knew?
Yeah, who would have thought?
holy smokes, dude. No pun intended. Holy
Who would have thought that the third boom rush would have been pot?
Right?
Oh my god! Well, that and you know what? It's Californians trying to be like, hey, you know what? We live in a place that can't really support itself. Maybe we should go somewhere else. Where? Well, somewhere else that weed's legal.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your mall over there, Rory?
Mall.
We have two malls.
It's 1992.
Yeah, we got two malls.
On the next episode of Hella 90s, talk about Rory's malls.
Both malls.
Can we talk about your malls, Rory?
Just gently and softly.
Well,
we got Colorado Mills Mall, and we have Southwest Plaza.
Okay.
Southwest Plaza was first. Colorado Mills came in the late 90s. Almost went out of business from a hailstorm about 5 years ago.
What?
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Southwest Plaza was going out of business because Colorado Mills was too cool and brand new with all the excitement. And Colorado Mills got slammed with a hailstorm a few years ago, busted the glass windows in the ceiling, just trashed the whole building.
Holy shit.
So that had to go down. They had to rebuild it. Well, Southwest Plaza, someone who was smart, invested a ton of money, remodeled that in a quarter of the time than the other mall, and is actually doing better now.
So the hail was so savage that
it ripped it apart. Yeah.
That's how bad it can get?
Yeah. We got like off-ball sized hail here a few times.
So, but what does that do to people's roofs, dude?
Crashes them. I got a new roof out of one.
Because it busted up your roof?
Yeah, busted up my roof, and then when the inspector came out, they determined there was enough damage that warranted a new roof, and then my roof was so old to start off with that the insurance company and everybody took care of it, and thank you, hailstorm, got a new roof.
And in other words, it saved your butt from having to deal with that crap.
$10,000.
But wait a second. So golf ball sized freaking hail, dude?
Yeah. And when they hit the concrete, it's like a little firework. There's a popping noise that they make.
Dude, what if you're walking outside and that shit smacks you upside the head, dude?
That would hurt.
What was that from Jared? Oh, okay.
So, hey, I got a real quick because I am going to have to get going here pretty soon. Dang, what was the question? Eloy, you made me forget.
I didn't freaking do anything. What the hell?
I just like blaming
Why
you.
did you blame me? I didn't do anything. I can honestly say I didn't do anything, dude.
Well, Rory made me a little bit nostalgic when he was talking about the malls. Not his balls, his malls.
No, you were thinking
about my balls?
Your balls.
Rory's malls.
Make sure you look right into the camera lens when you say that again.
Yeah, straight into
it. Did you guys grow up with, or are you still fortunate enough to have drive-ins or a drive-in?
Nope.
Our drive-in got demolished about 3 years ago. But yeah, we had one for a long time.
Yeah.
There's one about 45 minutes away. I don't go. It's a Hasselhoff. I don't want to watch a movie. I can't sit still that long. I don't want to sit still in a car that long.
You have one and you don't go do that?
We have one.
Okay.
It's like 2 or 3 minutes down the road. I was just wondering if you guys went to the drive-in when you were like teenagers.
I did not. And we had one, and I never did because I was too young, and then they switched it into a flea market.
Which is exactly what they should do. Boy, I love flea market.
Flea markets are nice.
Well, they closed the flea market, and then they turned it into like a Best Buy. So,
Wow. Yeah, but they need to have a flea market somewhere else that you need to go to. I enjoy the flea market.
Hey, dude, I'll tell you what. We have done an epic freaking adventure. And I do want to say one thing about everything. Like, I think it was either Doc. I think it was Doc that he said that maybe in the future. I know he was joking lightly, but I think we are all important. I think you guys are important. I think you guys are all super important. And that our connection and our talks and whatever we do branches out throughout history. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And I truly appreciate you guys. Just in case tomorrow I wake up dead or whatever, I just want to tell you guys that
you can't wake up
dead. You wake up dead, yeah.
That you guys are awesome. And I do appreciate you. And thank you for being my friend.
Right back at you, buddy. No. I'm not gonna let you have the last word.
Yeah, I like.
Good night, guys.
I love my testicles and Rory's balls.
Yeah, Rory's balls.
Scratch.